1913, Unity's parents, Lord and Lady Redesdale, visited Canada, prospecting for gold. It was here, in a small village called Swastika, that Unity was conceived. The symbol was adopted by the Nazi Party just as Unity was struggling to establish an identity in her large and eccentric family.
Unity found life in her big family very difficult because she came after these cleverer, prettier, more accomplished sisters.
By the time Unity was a teenager, her elder sister Nancy was already a famous novelist, while Diana was a celebrated beauty and society hostess. Jessica's talent for writing eventually made her a successful journalist, but Unity struggled to find a niche.
If you come from a ruck of children in a large family, you've got to do something to assert your individuality. And I think through the experience of trying to force her way forward among the sisters and in the family, she decided she was going to form a personality against everything.
700 miles away in Germany, Adolf Hitler was on the verge of taking power. News of his running battles with communists was filtering back to England in the press. Even teenagers in isolated Oxfordshire villages began taking sides in the new polarized politics of the era.
Unity and Jessica shared a room, which they divided down the middle with a chalk line. And one side was fascism and the other side was communism. And Jessica had all her hammers and sickles and her pictures of Lenin. And Unity had her swastikas and her pictures of Hitler. I think the desire to shock was very important. It was the way that she made herself special. When she discovered Nazism and discovered that it was a fantastic opportunity to shock everybody in England, she discovered the best teas of all. I mean, they were kids virtually. You don't know how much it was just a game that became deadly serious in later life.
In 1932, Unity's involvement with fascism was about to come much closer to home.
Fascism is new to Great Britain. Because it is new, it will be attacked by some and laughed at by others.
In the same year Unity was coming out as a debutante, Oswald Mosley launched the British Union of Fascists. Almost simultaneously, he began having an affair with Unity's sister, Diana.
I first met him at a dinner party in London, and we made friends rather quickly.
We live in a period when Britain can only survive by vigor and by action.
I was very taken with his ideas. I thought they sounded so sensible and wise. And in fact, as time went on, it turned out that they were.
Diana had only been married for 3 years when she scandalously divorced her husband to become Mosley's full-time mistress.
This was considered in the family so shocking that the younger girls, the younger three, of whom Unity was one, weren't allowed to see Diana or visit her, and certainly weren't allowed to meet the person that Lord Redesdale referred to as the man Mosley.
That summer, Unity disobeyed her parents. At a party thrown by Diana, she was introduced to Mosley for the first time.
When she saw Mosley, she at once called him the leader. The leader says, the leader does this, the leader does that, and the leader promised to give her a badge. And she was frightfully excited by this.
Unity became a very extrovert member of the party, which was her way. I mean, anything Unity took up, she sort of overdid it straight away. And one thing she did, she joined my father's party, and she used to turn up. She used to go around in a black shirt uniform, and she used to turn up at communist meetings, and she used to do the fascist salute and heckle the speaker or something. That was the sort of person she was. I remember some conversations between my father and Diana in which my father was saying that Unity, although he was fond of Unity, he admired Unity, it was very nice of her to be so passionately fascist, but she wasn't doing him any good because she was making a sort of an exhibition of herself.
Despite her best efforts, the Black Shirts felt Unity was a liability. In contrast, her sister Diana was the leader's favourite.
Diana was the glamorous sister. I mean, they looked alike in a way, but in fact, Diana was a famous beauty, so it was very bad luck on Unity, and going around with Diana would probably be tough for Unity. Mosley, although older, was a very glamorous figure. He had those Errol Flynn, Rudolph Valentino looks that were so fashionable at the time. So that was yet another kind of very dashing thing that one of the older sisters had done.
Diana's relationship with Mosley is a very big fact of Mitford life. And what should Unity do about it? So it looks to me as if one thing she could do about it is go one better.
In 1933, Adolf Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. He celebrated by organising the first in an extraordinary series of state-funded rallies.
The Nazi Party rallies took place every September in a specially built stadium in Nuremberg. And, of course, Hitler was the star of the show. He would drive through the streets of Nuremberg in an open car with his hand extended in the fascist salute. And there would be endless screaming and yelling. And obviously, it generated a feeling of mass hysteria.
In the crowd was Unity Mitford. She had come to Nuremberg with her sister Diana, part of a delegation from the British Union of Fascists. 19-year-old Unity's life was about to change forever.
It was an extraordinary spectacle of power. The nearest equivalent that we can give is a huge rock concert. People are somehow losing touch with their own personality and surrendering some part of their personality to the occasion.
The Nuremberg rally had a profound effect on both Diana and Unity. I mean, it was so dramatic and gripping, and everybody was obviously listening, and then Hitler, all by himself, walking up onto the stage. Unity was already, as it were, convinced about Hitler, but this turned conviction into worship.
Deutschland heil!
As Unity later said,
"The first moment I saw him, I knew there was no one I would rather meet."
From then on, she wanted to be near Hitler as much as possible. She wanted to be in Germany as much as possible.
Unity convinced her parents she wanted to learn German. In the summer of 1934, she enrolled at a language school in Munich, close to the headquarters of the Nazi Party.
She set her mind on getting Hitler. And she discovered that Hitler's movements could be ascertained. And it's one of the extraordinary things about Hitler's daily life that he was so available to the public. You knew which cafe he'd be in, you knew which restaurant he'd be in, which hotel, and he would just go and meet people over sticky buns and cakes, and it was possible to meet him like that. And he was in the habit of eating in the Osteria Bavaria in Munich, and she started sitting in the Osteria Bavaria every day. So